and welcome to today's edition of Route 664, The Road to Human Kindness. I'm Les Winston. And 664, what is that all about? Why do we call it Route 664? And what does it mean to the way we do things on a regular basis? It means a lot because 664 is a way to change the world. And we do need to change the world for the better. The things are things that we kind of take for granted. People getting into wars and things that are nasty to each other. There's no reason for that to go on. We need to make the world more peaceful. And one of the things that 664 does is it makes it peaceful. How does it do that? Well, it encourages you to think about charity, think about philanthropy, how it can help yourself and how it can help the community that you live in. It's very important to be able to use what you have to its most in the most effective way possible, and that is what you do with 664. 664 is a way to maximize your own wealth and therefore income production using charity. That's what Congress did in 1969 when they passed that section of the tax code, 664, and others like it. They made these bargains with the citizens that said, if you do something for a charity when you die, you'll have lower taxes while you're alive. And unfortunately, most people don't know that the bargain exists. And we're trying to educate you to make it possible. We've done several things to do this. So obviously, this newscast, this broadcast that we do every Thursday here on community newspapers is one of the ways that we want to communicate this to you. We want to encourage you to use 664. We've created the Discovery 664 Academy, which is a way for you to become financially literate about tax savings and how saving taxes can increase your income, how you can do planning before year's end to maximize the amount that you're going to get to keep and spend less on taxes. That's what the planning does. And we also have a great radio station that will be airing interviews that I've done with philanthropists and people in the community who support charity, people who advise others on charity. Those are all replayed on the radio station at route664.org. And we also want to maximize your knowledge through this means. We want to change the way you think about 664 in general. That 664, like a 401k, you know what that is. You know that it's good. You may not know where it comes from, but you know that it's good. And that is what we want to do with 664. We want you to understand that it's a good thing to use. If you know how to use it and when to use it, and who can help you use it. And so we have created the Discovery 664 Academy to help people become financially literate, but also to train them to become endowment engineers. And the endowment engineer profession is one that's going to be very important in the future going forward, because we do need to do something to change the way we're operating fiscally in the United States of America. It's a serious problem. We have a very large debt. The interest on the debt is extremely detrimental because it's taking away resources from other things. It doesn't really do anything, interest on the debt. We need to get rid of the debt. And one of the ways to do that is to streamline government, make government more in line with what government was designed to do. It wasn't designed to take your tax dollars and then pass them on to non-governmental organizations, which is what's happening now. We have the right to help the non-governmental organizations ourselves. That's what charities are. They're non-governmental. We need to be able to support those on a community level. And you can do that if you do planning, if the planning is done properly. So we're a resource for the community to make the community better, communities all over the country better. And that's how we want you to become more knowledgeable about and comfortable with 664. We're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Exciting news. The Discovery 664 Academy podcast is live on Spotify. And if you're not following us there yet, you're missing out. We're dropping new episodes every week, so don't miss out on more of the most powerful strategies to grow wealth through charitable planning. This is what we're all about on this program. When you tune into the Discovery 664 channel, you're going to see podcasts that will enlighten you and keep you up to date on how to deal with your charitable financial planning and to do the best job you can to build yourself your own 664 account. That's what's the end result of what we're trying to do here. We want you to endow yourself and then endow the community. That's what the bargain was when Congress gave us these laws in 1969. Do something good for the community when you pass, and we'll give you lower taxes while you're alive. That's what the bargain is, and that's all we're trying to teach you. Go to the 664 Discovery channel and find out more. And 664 is about love as well. Yeah. And I'm joined by my co-host, Wanda Love Myles.
Hello there, Wes.
How are you, Wanda? Good to see you today,
How's
too.
Thanksgiving?
Turkey. Yes. Turkey.
Hope
Gobble,
it was
gobble.
Wonderful for everyone.
Yeah, it was nice. Very nice. I got to have wonderful Thanksgiving with my daughter and my granddaughter. And
good.
It was really nice. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I haven't met your daughter, but yeah, I'd like to meet her.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Anytime.
So.
Let's talk about a beautiful charity that you've come across that you really want to help. On
the Thanksgiving week of holiday, we also have Giving Tuesday, which hopefully everyone participated in. And I discovered this charity that I guess I'd known a little bit about dogs and veterinarians too. But this particular Canines for Warriors was a discovery I happened upon and couldn't wait to donate and, of course, then bring to you to talk about the great work they're doing, helping veterans and helping rescue dogs or just dogs that are unwanted. And I love combining the two causes. So it's great. Canines for Warriors, and I put together this little thing to give you a little bit more about what they do.
Great. Let's watch it now.
Every day in the United States, approximately 20 veterans take their own lives, and over 1,000 dogs are euthanized. Determined to end veteran suicide, K9 for Warriors provides highly trained service dogs to military veterans suffering from PTSD, traumatic brain injury, and/or military sexual trauma at no financial cost to the veteran. With a majority of dogs being rescues, this innovative program allows the K9 Warrior team to build an unwavering bond that facilitates their collective healing and recovery. This treatment method is backed by scientific research from the University of Arizona's O'Hare Lab, demonstrating service dogs' ability to help mitigate their veterans' symptoms of PTSD while simultaneously restoring their confidence and independence. Founded in 2011 by Sherry Duvall as a 501c3 nonprofit organization, Canines for Warriors remains committed to bringing widespread awareness to veterans' mental health and contributing to policy-level reform. This organization was born from Sherry witnessing firsthand the effects PTSD has on our veterans returning from war. And as envisioned by Sherry, who lost her battle with cancer in 2021, Canines has become a life-saving endeavor that can heal the invisible wounds veterans experience. So why is it needed? Well, roughly 20 veterans who served post-9/11 commit suicide daily. Around 20% of post-9/11 veterans suffer from PTSD. That's more than 700,000 veterans. Service members suffering from PTSD are at a high risk for suicide. And around 700,000 dogs are euthanized in shelters every year. Many of these are wonderful dogs who can be trained as service dogs for veterans in need. So what does it mean to have PTSD? Well, it means hypervigilance, panic attacks, insomnia, depression, isolation, and hopelessness. During the 21-day training program at their campuses in Florida and Texas, warriors learn and practice skills with their new trained service dogs that allow them to regain their independence. But the K9 for Warriors program goes further than simply handing over a leash and sending warrior K9 teams on their way. K9s for Warriors staff provide resources to veterans long before they walk through the doors, and the relationships formed during their stay remains long after they return home. Each month, veterans arrive at one of K9s for Warriors campuses to take part in a 3-week in-house training program at no cost to them. K9s for Warriors provides a trained service dog, housing, all meals, equipment, veterinary care, and training in a welcoming environment that provides essential peer-to-peer support. As the service dog is already trained prior to being paired with a veteran, the 3-week training period is to teach the warrior how to use his or her service dog and to facilitate the bonding necessary for the two to be a successful team. At K9s for Warriors, dogs are procured from a variety of sources, including animal shelters, dog donations, owner surrenders, and starting in 2022, from select breeders. In 2022, our veteran waitlist was longer than 4 years, and COVID played a big role in that, limiting warrior class sizes and greatly reduced the ability to rescue dogs from shelters. So, to reduce the wait time, they made the decision to acquire more dogs from breeders and other service dog agencies. Now, veterans wait 18 to 24 months to be paired with a dog, and that saves more lives. The procurement team continuously searches animal shelters, seeking suitable service dog candidates. But rescue dogs will always be the majority of dogs they procure. So, how does a service dog help? What kind of skills are they trained to do? Stand, brace, look, lap, front, and under. The average warrior is on 10 to 15 medications when they begin the program. 92% will reduce or eliminate altogether prescription medications over time following their graduation from K9s for Warriors. This is according to a survey done by Flagler College in St. Augustine, Florida. K9 for Warriors exists and thrives thanks to passionate individuals, corporate donors, and sponsors, contributing via many avenues: dog sponsorships, recurring monthly donations, third-party fundraising events, one-time donations, and many more. Their volunteer base is invaluable. They dedicate time and talent to cook meals for the Warriors, attend events to represent K9s for Warriors, as well as foster and raise future service dogs. Corporate sponsors donate supplies that contribute to the welfare of the dogs while in training and provides all the dog food for the service dogs in training and research funding. Roughly 80% of donated funds support operating and program costs. The remaining 20% covers administrative costs to ensure the organization will continue to grow and, in turn, save more lives. To date, K9s for Warriors has graduated 1,000 Warrior K9 teams and rescued more than 2,000 dogs overall. To learn more or become involved, visit k9sforwarriors.org.
And there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty moving stuff.
It's powerful. They're doing great work for the dogs and for the vets.
Yes, and people who contribute to something like that would be this is what we're talking about. This is about how to make the world a kinder place, make the world a better place using your wealth in a way that is valuable to everybody in the community.
And otherwise, these are people and dogs that are almost considered disposable. Like, we don't take care of our vets the way I think we should. And of course, the dogs that, as I just had a dog show up at my doorstep, a few weeks ago, that people just drop off a dog with, it's just.
Well, the people are having a hard time to be able to take care of them, afford them, and so I guess that's going to happen more and more. We need to make things different, and this is one way to do that. This is k9sforwarriors.org, k9sforwarriors.org. This is a way where, like if you have, it's the end of the year, this is a good time if you want to build your charitable contributions. This is a good time to do that. And even if you don't itemize, you can take advantage of a pooled income fund. Shameless plug here for the pooled income fund at Endow America Network Foundation. Not every nonprofit organization has a pooled income fund. They're very easy to contribute to, and you can contribute any amount that you want, and you can contribute appreciated assets, which means if you have a stock that you don't want to own anymore and you have a lot of profit in it, you want to get the profit, you want to be able to use the stock for income, you can use a pooled income fund to help you do that and avoid paying the capital gains tax, get a tax deduction, and get the income. And that's pretty powerful stuff. So you can direct that you can name the nonprofit that you want the proceeds to go to, and you can include some current funding in there. And in this case, it would go to Canines for Warriors, which is, as you just saw, a phenomenal service to the community. And it's they're going to do things a lot better than government would do it, for
Oh, absolutely.
sure. And governments, we see with the results of government doing it, nobody's getting taken care of because it's not their job. Just so you're clear. Government is not the one that's supposed to be providing this. This is something that's supposed to be provided by us, the community, to honor the service of our warriors, and also to help match up, two needs. Really, the need to deal with animals that are out there that are beneficial and not left behind or whatever. And to team them up with somebody who can use the services. It's really important. I know you're a true dog lover.
I am.
Yeah.
I also love humanity, and we're at a place now that it's concerning. I just want us all to get along, and that's just I've been that way all my life, a peacemaker, and it hurts my heart that there's just so much fighting and disagreement. I mean, we can disagree, and we're going to disagree because we're individuals, and we should all not think the same. That's what creates a more exciting and evolving and, dare I say, progressive, but a society that's moving forward and growing. And we need to remember that we are our brother's keeper, whether you like it or not. We're all here on the same earth. It's one big planet. It's not, I know we like to think we're all divided up into pieces of land that have just grown out of the water, but it's one earth, and we're all here to hopefully keep it intact. So
that'd be nice.
It'd be nice. Or we could just blow it up and then start all over.
Yeah, no. Well, that's the whole point about 664 Not War, really speaks to that. And, of course, we call the theory of social charity the formula of love. And the reason for that is that it represents taking care of yourself, because you'll love yourself also. It's very important to be in touch with yourself, aware of yourself. And
put your life vest on first.
And then you're... part of that is also giving to others. So loving others is really an important part of loving yourself. So it all goes together. It's something that Congress actually did without really knowing what they were doing. Maybe, I don't know, but in their infinite wisdom, when they passed these sections of the tax code, they had some really good things in mind, and that's the way it should be. We should be able to have free community services provided by endowment that's left by the people who live in the community, who benefited from the community, and this is a perfect example of something that can be.
And I love that it empowers our vets, and I think that we should build each other, and in that aspect, money's important, but we have to remember that you make money. Money doesn't make you. Mm-hmm. So we. Build yourself, build each other, create a society where people not only love their neighbors, but they love themselves. And if we're beating each other down, it makes that kind of hard to do. Mm-hmm. So we need to lift each other up, and then it's just a more functioning society. And what is it? Divided we fall, right?
United we stand. Yeah, that's true.
Are we still going?
I'd like to talk a little bit about the individualism,
personal responsibility,
taking care of yourself and looking out for yourself, because there's nobody else that's going to do it. If you're relying on anybody else to do that, it's not going to work. And so you have to have the way to do it for yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that we try and teach you at the Academy. The Discovery 664 Academy is about learning how to wend your way in the world to become more financially sound and have a better handle on income tax, estate tax, all those taxes that the government wants to take. You have a way to deal with that in a very positive way for both yourself and for the community. So Wanda has written a phenomenal book called Social Charity, How Tax Code 664 Saved Generation Alpha's retirement and the nation. And that's really what we're talking about here. This is the way to cure the ills that we've created through massive government explosion and bureaucracy becoming as big as it is, we can bring that down to a local level. It's an economic world.
It's a real easy read. I made it that way because I like an easy read, and it's light. It's sort of fun and entertaining, so I suggest maybe you get it for yourself. It's on Amazon. It's on our website. I want to read something that a quote that I love from Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I think that's the book he originally wrote. The school system will never teach us about money. The school system was designed to teach you. I don't know why it's so hard for me to see anymore. The school system was designed to teach you to be an employee, which is important, a doctor or a lawyer, a specialist, but never about money. And what most people lack is real business knowledge, like accounting, like debt, like taxes. You got to know that stuff, but they don't teach that in school to anybody.
Yep.
Robert Kiyosaki, a very wealthy man.
Yes, a very wise man.
Yes.
And it goes along with what we're talking about, because
Exactly.
when we established, we try to figure a way that would make it easy for everybody to understand what we're talking about, understand how to get along in the world financially. And so Discovery 664 Academy is a very interesting trip down the education lane. And it's I think, of course, I'm biased because I'm the professor, but that's the way it is. And I've been doing this a long time. So you're getting a lot of experience from somebody who's been in the financial planning trenches for a long time. Yeah. And I can tell you that there's not much better than what we're dealing with right now. So go to Discovery 664 Academy and check out the website, and then become part of the education process. You can enroll and start taking the courses. You can take them in order. You can move around. You can look up different types of solutions to different problems. Right now, there's 14. There'll be 14 lessons up by the end of, I think, tomorrow, and then we're going to work on another to duplicate that. So there'll be another 14, and then eventually there'll be about 50 lessons in total. So it's going to be a broad-based, very expansive way to get a financial education and to get you familiar with how to deal with all of the different functions in your financial world that you may not have learned about before. And it's related to the love world. It's related to all of us being one.
Well, you can't take it with you. And if you can leave it to a cause that you believe in, like dogs or vets or the earth or your church, you can do that. There's all sorts of nonprofits out there that need our help, and the government isn't going to always help them the way we would like them helped. So, yeah.
But this is building endowment, and that's one of the things that we need to get clear on, that there's two things that you can do. You can help with current gifts, and you can help with building endowment. And endowment is built by leaving larger amounts, and the reason why you're able to do that is by using these things to avoid taxes. The question is, do you want to pay tax, or do you want to keep the income? And that's the trade-off. If you want to keep the income, then you can use charity to help you keep the income. If you just want to pay the tax, that's up to you. And I know people have done that. So taxes, I don't think everybody really pays attention to their tax dollars, and we need to. We're going to take another break, and we'll be back with our discussion with Wanda about love in the world.
Oh, I love love. Every day. Once upon a time, in a town quite grand, lived Eleanor with a sharp mind and a steady hand. She had an eye for detail. Numbers were her game, and as she neared life's twilight, she sought lasting fame. One day, fate smiled with a windfall so bright. Eleanor saw a chance to set things right. She found Section 664, a tax code so rare. But for Kratz and Krutz, you're gonna need an engineer. An endowment engineer, savvy and wise. She crafted a plan, a legacy in disguise. A trust for her grand twins, income to provide. But with a twist, they must serve, and must they, with pride. The twins took the challenge, and they ran with glee, establishing a center, a place for all to see. For animals and seniors, a haven of care. A place where love and kindness would flourish with flair. So remember, dear friends, as you navigate life, Social Security can ease your strife. With a heart full of giving and a mind so keen, you too can create a legacy unseen. Plan, prosper, pass on. That's the power of 664.
So don't forget, when we talk about giving, especially at this time of year, include the Canines for Warriors, caninesforwarriors.org for more information, and saving lives at both ends of the leash. That's a great line. I like that. And the vets, our veterans are really important to us. They made sacrifices that nobody else would make, and they were willing to put their lives on the line for the rest of us, and that's something that we can never forget. And unfortunately, too many of them suffer from PTSD and suffer from other issues, injuries, obviously, that come from being in the battlefield, and they should never be neglected. And if one of the things that we can do for them is to match them up with a canine that can help them do that effectively, this is something that you might want to consider also providing some funding for. So
it's such an incredible bond. It really is that they form it, because the vet is feeling lost, and that animal just wants, all dogs just want to be loved and want to love you. That's what they do. Yeah. And it's just for them to go from needing 12 drugs a day to be able to get them off that medication is crucial, and it's powerful stuff. So.
I think that's a real act of love, and we shouldn't be losing anybody to suicide or anything like that. And the fact that that kind of depression occurs is not it's not unique to the veterans. The veterans are very familiar with it. The PTSD is a very bad issue, and hopefully we'll get to the point where we won't have wars and we won't have veterans. Yeah. We'll have people who serve the country, and we hope that you'll be able to support your community by using the devices that we talk about, 664 in general, in a way that helps to make everything available to everybody, because there's enough money in the community through an endowment. Remember, we're going to create an endowment for you. That's what you do with 664. And you leave an endowment behind. Those are the two things that occur when you use this section of the code. And you need to become familiar with it. There are two taxpayers in the country, the informed taxpayer and uninformed taxpayer. You don't want to be an uninformed taxpayer. It's very expensive. If you pay tax on everything that you have to pay tax on, or that you think you have to pay tax on, or the government is trying, the government has a plan for you, just so you're aware of it. The government's plan is you do nothing, and they take all that they can take.
Exactly.
So you can reduce that by doing some planning for yourself, but you can't do that planning unless you get a basic education, and that's why we encourage you to go to the Discovery 664 Academy. You also check out our podcasts on Spotify and Instagram and Facebook and
we're on
X.
YouTube.
We're all over the place on YouTube as well. Check it out.
Lots to learn and enjoy.
A lot of things to encourage you to become more familiar with your own economic well-being and how to increase your individual success. That's what this is all about. That's what we hope you'll get from what we're talking about today.
I'd like to invite everyone to, if they have any questions, ask Professor Les. Just send them to us either at the website or put them in the comments below, and any way you can, because Les is full of knowledge. Ask him some questions. Pick his brain.
Yeah, you get
and then
more or less.
It'll give us another segment to work on for later.
We would love to answer your questions and also communicate with you to find out what else we can provide to you that make it easier for you to get to use these wonderful tools and to help in a way that's really beneficial. It's not pain. This is not painful philanthropy. This is good philanthropy and very easy philanthropy because it's something that makes your life better. So it's like, a lot of people think charity is you give it away and you never get to use it again. But that's not the case when you're doing this kind of work with 664 and you're using that to help you increase your personal income, you keep the income. You give away the corpus, but you keep the income, and that's really important. Income is more important than wealth. We'll have a discussion about that in our next session, because one of the things I have said in the past is it's more important to have income than wealth, because you can't live on wealth. You can own all the land in the world, but you can't eat dirt. You have to have income, and so income is what it's about. And charity helps you build the income in a favorable way with paying less tax. That's our show for today. Thank you for joining us on Route 664, the Road to Human Kindness. Thank you, Wanda.
Oh, my pleasure.
And thank you for introducing us to Canines for Warriors.
.org.
.org.